Here's a true story.
From over 200 years of history, the House of Johnnie Walker has successfully developed unique and exceptional skills and expertise. It was in 1820 in Scotland that John Walker first had the idea of selecting malts with different characters and bring them together to create a whiskey with a single taste and increased richness and balance. The art of blending was born. While distillation results from a fixed set of producers, blending comes slowly down to human skills, those of the master blender. Johnnie Walker is a subsidiary brand of its parent company Diageo and is located since 1999 in Edinburgh Park, Scotland. The demand for blended whiskey is likely to witness a strong growth of accounts of increasing consumer base across the globe, but the demand for super premium drink is likely to witness substantial growth in developed countries such as UK, France, the US, and Canada over the next few years. Factors responsible for this growth include innovation and premiumization, modernizing alcohol laws, expanding consumers' access and choice, hospitality, tax restraints, growth of cocktail culture, and focus on craft products through developed regions. Today, Johnnie Walker is the world #1 Scotch whiskey, loved across the world for its consistent quality and depth and commitment to innovation. The brand has been the recipient of several awards and recognition because of its quality products. Johnnie Walker has a logo of a strutting man in upscale and traditional attire depicting brands pursued towards excellence and forward thinking. Its parent company, Diageo, has started a member club titled the Strutting Man Society for loyal drinkers of Johnnie Walker. The brand is the official whiskey sponsor of Formula One and golf tournaments like Johnnie Walker Championship at Gleneagles and Johnnie Walker Classic. Diageo is a global leader in beverage alcohol, with an outstanding collection of brands across spirits and beer, a business built on the principles and foundations laid by the giants of the industry. So, let's understand the Johnnie Walker's labels. The thing that distinguishes one expression of Johnnie Walker from another is the color of the label. Each is a different blend of whiskies aged for a certain amount of time, with the most expensive being the oldest. Try to remember the sequence of the labels. Red label, black label, double black, green label, gold label reserve, platinum label, and blue label. This is in order from the least to most expensive.
Since the beginning, John Walker always wanted to have a successful life, and it began in 1820 when Walker opens a grocery store in Kilmarnock. And later, in 1843, the railway arrives to the town, allowing Walker to begin trading across Scotland. But it wasn't until 1867 that John Walker's son, Alexander Walker, launched the first commercial blend and called it Old Highland Whiskey. He then engaged ship's captains as his agents to carry his whiskey wherever ships could sail. Before long, his unique blend was available around the globe. In 1877, the Johnnie Walker was registered as a trademark, and the next step of the company was in 1808 when Tom Brown drew the Straining Man figure, which through various incarnations had remained a key element of brand's imagery. By 1920, Johnnie Walker whiskey was in 120 countries. 5 years later, the firm joins to the Distillers Company, DCL. 1963 and 1964 was very important because the company finally became the biggest selling Scotch whiskey in the world, and then from the year 1992 until 1997 they released the new Johnnie Walker Blue Label, Gold Label, and Green Label. Later, in 1997, the firm became part of Diageo, who has been the owner since then. Around 1999, the Global Brand Executive Board of Johnnie Walker met for the first time to unify the advertising campaigns into a global one, and was there the establishment of the Keep Walking campaign, whose core value was to inspire men to progress. Since this campaign, the company achieved many goals, as becoming the top-selling deluxe blend, beginning its sponsorship of Formula One racing, and broke the 20 million barrier between 2012 and 2013. It got there through a mix of expansion into a new markets, innovation, and the global surge in premium spirits. It spread through Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and even deeper into Latin America and the Caribbean, across Eastern Europe and into Turkey, and now, especially with the red level, into Africa. In 2015, Diageo unveils the biggest global marketing campaign for Johnnie Walker, named Joy Will Take You Further. And now in China and North Korea, they have invested in 3 Johnnie Walker houses to immerse Scotch whiskey culture, and they are trying to have a multi-sensory Johnnie Walker experience in Edinburgh. Johnnie Walker has been producing Scotch whiskey for around 200 years and has seen a rise from selling only in a small grocery store to being the most popular Scotch whiskey in the world. This has led to the brand describing itself as an international symbol of progress, first with the straight men logo showing its marching forward to fulfill personal goals, and now with the new communication platform Joy Will Take You Further. They have expanded its brand with a global internationalization strategy, with presence in more than 180 countries and different markets, standing out in the world with an aggregation competitive advantage. The company also has a global efficiency selling standardized products produced in the 12 Johnnie Walker distillers located in Scotland and exported from the home country, evidencing the ecstatic efficiency they use. And finally, the headquarters of Diageo is located in London, with subsidiaries around the world that depend on the holding. Their main role is to implement the parent company's decision and to act as a pipeline of products and strategies.
Diageo is a global leader in beverage alcohol. They have over 200 brands from old and new, large and small, global and local, and their brands are produced in more than 150 sites around the world. They employ 3,000 talented people around the world, and each of them is in charge of growing the business, nurturing the brands, and creating new products according to the local consumers besides the ones that are on their global portfolio. Diageo is a holding company which has its main production plant in Scotland and the main offices in London. Diageo set up an overseas sales branch that handles sales, distribution, and they work along local entities to promote their products. The sales branch gives Diageo more presence and program control in the foreign market and often serves as a display center and customer service center. So, what is the form of entry that applies Diageo? They are direct exporters, which means in Colombia they have a subsidiary, Diageo Colombia, which is in Bogotá and is a part of the wholesale sector industry. Diageo Colombia has 314 employees across the country. As we are a developing country, Diageo's strategy is to offer affordable price points so consumers can access to the different brands. One example of the work Diageo makes in foreign markets is that in Colombia, Diageo made an alliance of Johnnie Walker and Artesanías de Colombia to create a unique whiskey. Johnnie Walker Blue Label and Artesanías de Colombia created the limited edition Hilos de la Tierra, and there are 300 unique bottles planted by hand by artisans. Diageo has some other products that are produced in Colombia, such as Smirnoff vodka flavored with lulo, which was designed and developed exclusively for the Colombian market in 2017, and seems to be a product brought from another country, and in November of that year they began to be produced in Colombia, and together with the Industria Licorera de Caldas. It's important to highlight that Diageo always makes sure with their subsidiaries to distribute their products in the best channels possible. For example, in Colombia, where can you find Johnnie Walker? Just you can find them in the best places, such as Carulla, El Éxito, La Licorera, Dis Licores, and so on.
An advantage in the Johnnie Walker strategy is that they only have one plant of production, and that helps to reduce costs in employees, place, energy, and all the things that are part of a production plant in one or some continents.
Now let's talk about the disadvantages. For example, a United Kingdom under Brexit, it can't stop being trade tariff free. They could experience changes to laws and regulation post-Brexit in areas such as intellectual property rights, employment, environment, supply chain, logistics, data protection, and health and safety. And on the other hand, as I say before, there is one main production plant in Scotland, and it's the biggest one and the most important. So, what happens if there is a problem in a Scotland production plant? Then it will immediately stop the process, and the products will be not ready in the time they were expecting. So you may be wondering why Diageo selected exporting as their form of entry instead of other. Well, this is mostly about autonomy. Diageo has its own broad portfolio, and before entering to a market, they have the possibility to select the best portfolio of brands to capture unique consumer opportunities, and then they invest in these opportunities that they believe that offer the most valuable growth.
To conclude, we think that the international strategy used by Johnnie Walkers accords to the product that they offer, because they have the total control of the blending, packing, and distribution of the product, and in that way they can guarantee to their customers that the whiskey has an excellent quality. Even so, they have local responsiveness in each country because the brand cares about being welcomed by the local market, and they use strategies that work together with the preference of the consumers. And finally, even a consumer that is drinking Johnnie Walker Red Label that has a price towards $20 to $25 feels that they are having a sort of luxurious experience because they are still experiencing a brand with 100 years of heritage, with an incredible story that even at that price point has the mastery of our master blenders and the service of that entry-level variant work.
Thanks to this form of entry, Johnnie Walker can arrive to your house as easy as this.
Johnnie Walker. Johnnie Walker.
200 years later, and Johnnie Walker's still walking, and he's not showing any signs of stopping.